Hi Year 4, welcome to week 2 of your home learning. So in maths this week we are going to continue our geometry work. You were looking at angles last week. This week we're going to be looking at 2D shapes. So we're going to start off today by thinking about how we can describe the properties of 2D shapes and what language we need to use to do that. And then in the next few days we are going to look at 4-sided shapes, quadrilaterals, their names and their properties. You're going to be doing some drawing as well. And then we're going to look at different types of triangle, their names, their properties, and you're also going to be doing some drawing. So today will help you with your task where you need to be doing some sorting on a Venn diagram. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you how we can use some mathematical language to describe the 2D shapes. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so let's just quickly remind ourselves of the names of some of the 2D shapes. So I've got some on the screen right here. So you can see we've got a circle, a rectangle, a triangle, an oval, and a square in the middle, the ones that we're probably very familiar with. We've got an octagon, which is an 8-sided shape. I always think about an octopus, which has 8 tentacles. We have a heptagon, which is 7 sides. We've got a pentagon, which is 5 sides, and a hexagon, which is 6 sides. We've also got a rhombus and a kite, which are 2 different types of 4-sided shapes, and we're going to look at those later on in the week. So, keywords that we're going to be using today when we're describing 2D shapes. We can talk about their sides, how many sides they have, whether they're the same length, whether they're different lengths, whether the sides are parallel or not. We can talk about the angles inside the shape, whether they have a right angle or an acute or an obtuse angle. We can talk about a vertex or vertices, and that's when we're talking about the point where 2 sides meet, almost like a corner or a point of the shape. When we're talking about one, we talk about a vertex, and when we're talking about the plural, more than one of them, we call them vertices. And then finally, we can say if a shape is regular or irregular. A regular shape means that all the sides are the same length. An irregular shape has sides which are different lengths. So if we look at the shape on the screen, we know that the shape is a rectangle. If I was talking about its sides, I would say that it has 4 sides, 2 pairs of equal sides. You can see that this side and this side are equal, so that's 1 pair of equal sides, and this side are equal. It's got 2 pairs of equal sides. For the angles, I can see that it's got right angles, and I can count that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's got 4 right angles. It's also got 4 vertices. That's where these 2 sides are meeting and they're creating that point. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And this shape is irregular because the sides are not all the same length. You can see clearly that this side is much shorter than these sides. So it is an irregular shape. Okay, I've got a triangle here. So a triangle has 3 sides. For its angles, I can see a right angle and I can see 2 acute angles. It's got 3 vertices, 1, 2, 3. And I think it is an irregular shape. I would need to get my ruler and check. I think that this side here is possibly a little bit longer than these sides, but I would need to check that to make sure I'm being accurate. And finally, I've got a 6-sided shape here, which is our hexagon. So it's got 6 sides. For the angles, I can see that it's got obtuse angles. They're all obtuse, and there are 6 of them. So there are 6 obtuse angles. There are 6 vertices, means the shape has 6 points to it where the sides meet. And this shape is a regular shape. If we were to measure the sides, we'd see that all of those sides are equal in length. So it is a regular hexagon. So let's have a look at these 2 shapes here, and I want us to think about what is the same and what's different. So pause the video and see if you can take a second using some of these keywords to tell me what's the same about these shapes and what is different about these shapes. Okay, so let's have a look at the sides of these shapes. So this shape has 4 sides. This shape has 3 sides. So it's got a different number of sides. I can see as well that this shape has got unequal sides, so it is irregular. This shape has got equal sides, so it is a regular shape. This shape has got obtuse angles and acute angles. This shape only has acute angles. This shape has 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. This shape has 1, 2, 3 vertices. So there are lots of things that are different about these shapes. Now, part of your task today is going to be sorting shapes using a Venn diagram. So this is a Venn diagram. You may have seen them before, which is when we have our 2 overlapping circles and our criteria up here at the top. So this circle here is where we're going to place the shapes that have at least 5 sides. This circle here is for shapes which have a right angle. The space where they overlap in the middle is for shapes that have both of these properties, that have at least 5 sides and a right angle. So I'm going to sort these shapes into my Venn diagram. I'm going to start with this triangle here. So this triangle has got 3 sides. So I know that it's not going to be part of this circle. And this triangle has got a right angle here. So I'm going to put it in this side of my Venn diagram because it has a right angle, but it does not have at least 5 sides. Okay, let's go to this side and have a look at this shape. So I'm going to count the sides first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has at least 5 sides. So I know it can go somewhere within this circle here. I need to look at the angles next. This is an acute angle. We've got an obtuse angle, a reflex angle, which goes almost a full circle, an acute angle, and then here I can see a right angle. So this shape has at least 5 sides and a right angle. That means that this shape needs to go in the middle to show that it meets both of those criteria. Let's have a look at this shape. I'm going to count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a hexagon. So it has at least 5 sides. Does it have any right angles? I'm looking at all of the angles and I can see that they are all bigger than right angles. They are all obtuse. So I'm just going to pop it over here to show that it has at least 5 sides, but it doesn't cross over into the right angle circle. And finally, got another triangle here. So it's obviously got 3 sides. So it's not going to fit in this circle. And I'm looking at its angles, and I think I can see that they are all smaller than a right angle. So it doesn't have at least 5 sides, and it doesn't have a right angle. So I'm going to leave this shape out of my Venn diagram. So I've now sorted all those 2D shapes into the right part of the Venn diagram. When you come to this part of your task, look really carefully at the criteria up at the top and look really carefully at where each shape needs to go.